focus on the results. Focus on the results. Well, I mean, that's pretty much a no-brainer, right? We have a goal. Should be pretty simple to focus on the results, but in the end, it really isn't all that simple. And the reason why it is because everybody's trying to pull us in a different direction all the time, right? And if somebody's not pulling us in a different direction, we're actually having a creative avoidance issue where we're wanting to escape any sort of discomfort. So we need to focus on the result. The result always isn't the end game in regards to, let's just say as a real estate agent, you said, I want to sell 20 homes next year, or I want to sell 30 homes next year. I don't really think it's the 20 or the 30 that actually gets you to the 20 or 30. I don't even think it has anything to do with that, because everything has to be brought down into a bite-sized portion. And so you have to come up with a plan based on, what do I have to do this month, this week, this day, this hour, this minute? And so what you do is your result may be 20 or 30 houses, but we have to keep it at such a small granular level because the enormity of 20 and 30 is just too big to think about, right? And so when I would set a business plan every year, my business plans were selling 100, 150, now 200, 300, 400, 500 homes a year. And so you cannot look at the enormity of selling 500 homes a year, because that's just too much and too overwhelming with all of the moving parts that are associated with it. So we have to bring it down to a granular level. It's, what am I doing today? Focus on the end result of what it's going to be from 9 o'clock to 10 o'clock, from 10 o'clock to 11 o'clock, what's going to happen at 12 and 1 and 2, because our brains can work of what we have to do the next, let's call it 60 minutes. But to think of the enormity of selling 20 or 30 homes is just too overwhelming. So we need to focus on the end result between 9 and 10, 10 and 11, 12 and 1, 2 and 3. You guys get the point. And working a process in a business. So if we say we're going to sell 20 or 30 homes this year, you got to have a plan. Like, what does actually that plan look like? So what time am I going to show up in the morning, and what am I going to do between 8 and 9, and what am I going to do between 9 and 10, and so on and so forth. And so for the world that I lived in, it was, I want to get on the phones and talk to as many people, many buyers or sellers that I possibly can in order to see if I can set an appointment today. So that's a question for you. That's your end result. What does it look like at the end of my day today? That's my level of success. So I'll share something with you. I'm working with some agents in my side of my company. I think it works really, really well. It does challenge the agents, but all the agents that try it, their business goes through the roof, and here it is. Number one, I ask them, how many contacts are you going to make today? Number two is, how many appointments are you going to set today? And then number three is, what wins are you going to have today? So for example, if I say, how many contacts do you want to make every day? And they say 20. How many appointments do you want to set every day? They say 1. And then how many wins? And wins could be buyer in my car, listing appointment, negotiate a contract, pending a transaction, going to a closing, doing a price adjustment. So we can have a lot of things like that in our win column. So every day they text me and say, here were my contacts for the day, here are my appointments, and here's my wins. At the end of the day, we have what we call our goal, right? Our focusing on our end result. And our end result is contacts, appointments, and wins. 3 things we have to work on. But to accomplish those 3 things, it's going to require us to probably show up at 8 or 9 o'clock in the morning. It's going to require us to stay really focused every hour to making sure that our contact levels are there. We're going to have to work on our skill level in order to be skilled enough to close the transaction hard enough so we can get the appointment, kind of get the point. And then we have to also, and just in case we don't get an appointment, or just in case we don't get all of our contacts, we at least have some sort of a win at the end of the day. So, hey, I was with a buyer, we showed property, that's a win. Hey, I was with a buyer, I didn't get my contacts in, but I did pin a house, that's a win. Hey, listen, I didn't get all my contacts in, or I didn't get an appointment today, but I did ratify or negotiate a contract on one of my listings. That's a win. And so we have to look at every day as finding a win and then getting a high level of results. So remember, let's focus on the things that matter the most, and let's work on not being distracted from the outside, because there's a lot of people that'll distract you from the outside, and stay focused minute by minute, hour by hour. And not only will you watch how fast your day goes by, but it's amazing to see how productive you're going to be as a real estate agent. I hope this information really helps and everybody has a great day.